Wait. Hey, looks like we are live. Kelly Bear's muted. Did I do that this time?
No, I just unmuted myself in case you wanted to. Sorry, I did it again. I'm so used to doing it when I do it when I play D&D because I always like futz with stuff and I don't want to like distract other players.
Oh yes. Oh gosh. Okay. So, cool. It's been I already said that 3 times. We just came in like 5 minutes before going live. It's been so long for me since I did a live, let alone with someone else on my channel. But welcome. It's so nice that you wanted to do this.
Thank you for
And
inviting me.
yeah, I mean, we're gonna show a little bit of the show me how you practice tag, which is something I want to continue in the future. Hey. And yeah, one of the ways is, making up games, which are actually obviously um, exercises. And we're gonna read tarot today for fictional characters, for characters that we thought of our favorite movies and series in kind of like spooky season, right?
Spooky.
So that's what we're gonna do, and I can't wait to hear what your picks were actually, because we didn't really set on what we're gonna do. We're just gonna kind of vibe it out. So I mean, how's it going? Are you feeling good about this?
Yeah, I'm excited and a bit nervous because it's been a long time since I've done a live, let alone like I don't often like read on camera. I tried to do it a little bit more earlier this year and a bit last year, but yeah, it's still something I don't, because I'm not a professional reader, whereas you are. I'm just an amateur, you see. A long time amateur, but an amateur.
Yeah,
So
I know you can do it. I've seen your channel. Yeah, and this is mostly just kind of like having fun anyway. And I feel like, I don't know if you feel the same way, but being a tarot reader, whether you do it, let's just say for money or not, it's still sometimes a little bit. I feel like it's a very solitary practice kind of thing, So to connect with people live like this, I'm really interested in hearing how you would interpret specific cards.
Yeah.
Obviously, slightly different, or maybe completely different than how I tend to do it. So
yeah.
it's also just, obviously being a little just. I'm interested in hearing that and being curious and nosy. So I think you told me which decks you're going to use, or you're planning on using. There's that lovely mug.
This was, I've only had this a couple of weeks. I went up to Scotland to visit some friends and have a holiday, and my friend Meg, she knows me well. She bought me this mug as a present. It's actually got, because I'm holding it with my left hand, but if I hold it with my right hand, it's actually got Hocus Pocus written on it. And it's so funny because I've wanted one of these mugs for ages, and I saw this exact mug online a week before I went on holiday, and I was like, I still don't have a cauldron mug. And I got to my friend's place and it was the exactly the same mug with Hocus Pocus on it and everything. And I was like, that's spooky.
Wow, that's nice. That's some synchronicity and a good friend who knows you well, indeed. I also have a cup of tea, but nothing special.
What are you drinking? I'm always interested to know what people are drinking.
Oh, well, I'm sticking to Earl Grey right now.
Classic. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, what about you? What's in the cup, Kelly?
It's the tea that said friend who got the mug gave me, which is the Wee Tea Company, which is a little Scottish tea company. And it's their apple cider blend. So it's like, like a mulled cidery type. It's not got alcohol in it. I'm missing a trick there. I probably should have stuck some whiskey in it, something that.
Yeah.
I wanted to say somewhat coherent on this live.
That's good. That's good. It's very Hi, everybody in the chat.
Yes. Hi, Joanna, and Terribly Mundane.
So I think we're seeing all the comments, right?
Mhm.
Hopefully. We should comments. Oh, okay, good, good, yeah. So good day to
Good
you.
day indeed.
Um, I'm going classic Anna with Triomphe della Luna.
I knew that you were going to be using that, so I didn't pick my Triomphe because I nearly picked my Paradoxical Rose, which is like Bay. I love it, but I know Triomphe is kind of like the Anna deck. So
I mean, I feel not a lot of people read with it on in videos, right?
yeah,
So
it's true, and I don't read with it. Well, I don't generally do readings or videos, but I don't actually tell. I do show it quite a lot. It does pop up in my like favorite decks or like working with pips. I have to say, yeah, I probably do, but I don't do online readings, so.
yeah,
But yeah.
yeah. And the other one, Halloween Tarot. I
Of
mean,
course, and that was the other deck that I nearly took was my Halloween, and I was like, I bet Anna takes the Halloween, so I was like, I need to come up with different decks.
I'm
So
very
I actually have three like regular decks, which I've just sort of put aside. Obviously, I have my Magical Forest just in case, because it's like, well, if the Anna's going to have the Anna deck, I need to have the Kelly deck.
that's yours.
But I've actually, but for spooky season, in terms of balance for Smith weightiness, I have the zombie, and then for like Pippi, I have Le Tarot Interdit, the Vampiria deck. So we've got two spooky boys there.
Cool. Yeah, nice. I mean, you totally influenced a lot of specific things in my tarot world. You've had a channel longer than I have, and I was watching, Hermit's Cave and you doing the live stuff and just having fun. And I totally have the Magical Forest deck because of you. All right, and it's true. And honestly, I think it's a really good deck. I really like it a lot. I have to be in the mood, obviously, but it's really just one of those good Smith weight. Everything's in there. And it's tugs at your heartstrings. I think it's a
Mm-hmm.
very sweet one. And all the mods, deck modifications, I think you opened that world to so many people, including myself. So,
Yeah, there was a time when I went like cuckoo banana pants on the mods, and to the point where I've got a few where I'm like, I kind of wish I hadn't trimmed it now. Like, I'm glad I trimmed my what's the one, the French, the macar, oh, what's it called, polka. I'm glad I trimmed that. It looks great. But like for
mhm.
example, the Del Fuego is so busy. I'm like, like why did I take the border off that? That's silly. But it's easy to rebuy that one. But
Oh, good. Yeah, good. Yeah, because sometimes we think in the moment we have to trim every deck, and then looking back, it's like, ooh. I had that with the Toth actually. I trimmed the large Toth, and that's the one that I didn't keep because it got too busy. It looked too busy.
yeah, it's too much. I bought the extra large thoth with the mind to trim it once I knew it all off by heart, because I knew that I would need the titles and the borders. But actually, I completely fell in love with it, and I will not take the borders off. And I love that it's huge. Like I just side riffle it. It's fine. Like it's great.
Yeah, yeah. They are huge though.
Oh no,
What? I deeply regret trimming my old Toth. How old
oh
was
oh,
it?
was it vintage?
Yeah. Hello, hello. The mod craze
Oh,
is real. Yes, it is. We know. We
I still
know.
love. I still mod decks. I actually only just edged this deck finally. It took me the other week finally after having it for a couple of years. So you know,
And what's the system? Is it a Marseille? I think I saw the video.
it's not a Marseille. It's like straight up like Pipish.
Mm.
So it's not a so it's a Pip, not a Marseille. But it's all vampires, and it doesn't like annoy me like the Ian Daniels vampire deck. So yeah, I went with this one.
Cool. Oh my gosh. Okay. So let's get into it.
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do it. Um, I don't know how this is gonna go. We're gonna be surprised or not at all, just a little bit. I'm just looking through my notes where
Mm-hmm.
they are. All of those. I think I'm gonna have to just open Instagram.
I've got them written down. I've
So
got the show
yeah,
options. We have Buffy the Vampire Slayer, classic, and it's over, so hopefully there won't be any like spoilers for people. Charmed, Stranger Things. I put on Dead Boy Detectives because that was a spooky thing I watched recently, which I just found out they're not renewing because sod Netflix. Films. I know film that you were super excited about was Death Becomes Her.
yes.
Hocus Pocus.
Which one?
Um, Hocus Pocus. Oh well, both I guess. Either or.
Yeah.
The Craft, Practical Magic. What We Do in the Shadows is both a film and a show. So, and then there's things like Beetlejuice, Shaun of the Dead. I put on there. Aliens, which is one of my favorite all-time films. So, I don't know we've got options for spooky
Totally.
stuff.
Yeah. We went. I think thought of a little bit of the vampire lore here and
Oh
there,
yeah.
like the vampire. What else? Well, Buffy. I really want to do Buffy.
Me too, because I'm rewatching Buffy at the moment. It's a classic.
Ooh, so it's gonna be really fresh in your memory.
Well, I'm only on season 2 at the moment, so but I've rewatched it like loads over the last 20 years.
Oh my god, me too, for sure. And it's funny actually, because it was on TV when I was young. I remember I had my first TV in my bedroom that I bought with pocket money, and
How cute.
every Wednesday evening we got the whole shebang. We got Charmed, and then Buffy, and then Angel, which I didn't watch. It was too late. And
Yeah.
less amazing in my opinion. But yeah, it's funny to rewatch it in different phases of life where you get to see, of course, different things. I
Seeing where
feel.
you're at.
What?
Seeing where you're at when you're rewatching it, like as an adult, like life stages.
Totally. Okay, let me recheck my notes because I know they're somewhere. This is typical of me where I'm so overly prepared with certain things and then I'm like, oh yeah, well, by the way, the most important thing. Let's see what people say in the comments. Oh, here we go. Here we go, folks. Okay, yeah, I got some characters from Buffy, Charm, The Craft, everything you said. Lord of the Rings.
Oh yes.
That's not necessarily a spooky thing, but it's just one of those, I don't know, one of those worlds where it's you care about the characters. Death Becomes Her. Yes, Beetlejuice. There's a new Beetlejuice movie.
Yeah, I've not seen that.
I haven't seen it either. Also, I have to rewatch the old Beetlejuice because it's not exactly a staple in what I'm watching, but I should rewatch it before. And then I even wrote down The Crow.
Oh yes, The Crow. How did I forget The Crow? Which there's also a new Crow film with a Skarsgård in.
Yeah. Should we be worried about the new Crow movie? I don't know.
I'm probably just going to ignore it if I'm honest.
Yeah, because a lot of remakes, people can't make up new stories, apparently. Fine. But we discussed quickly the second Hocus Pocus movie, which got so much hate. But
I liked it.
I liked it. I was even surprised as to see how much I liked it. It was good. It was sweet. It was nostalgic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it had my boy Doug Jones in it. I love Doug Jones. There's Eddie. Oh my god, I love Doug Jones, who's also in Buffy.
As who? As what?
He plays the lead gentleman in Hush, the silent episode, with the creepy smile and the way they like float in the suits. He plays the head one of those. But yeah, Doug Jones is like, I just love him so much.
Wow, cool. Yes, Buffy is iconic. Hello. Love both your channels. They are amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, guys. What should we start with?
Oh, thanks, Ange.
Oh, wait. Before we started, you showed me a very handy book, tarot book,
Oh, yeah, it's just here.
which we could
I've
use
got my
for
desk.
this. Yeah, because I don't know that book, and it looks
Yeah,
really...
there's a few of them on the market, I think, but I got this like last year or the year before, just when I'm like, when I just want to do a reading, but I have nowhere to read for. Just like, I just do this, boop, 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 and I just pick whatever. It's got loads of questions on both pages, so it's quite funny.
Wow. Okay. And so, out of curiosity, do you then pick one card or do a spread? And
Depends. Usually I'll do like at least a 3 card, especially if I'm using like a Marseille or a pip deck. I tend to do at least 3. Yeah, sometimes I'll pick 1 card, but or do like a reading, like a spread. But I've only just sort of gotten back into using like spreads a bit more this year. I'd sort of very much eschewed them for a long time, but getting back into them.
yeah, I'm going through a similar thing actually. I'm all back into doing tarot spreads. Basically, it takes a little bit more time, even a little bit more concentration. I feel like reading for myself. I mean, and then do you just with that book end up reading for someone in your mind, or does it then change to someone you know or yourself?
I'll just literally just treat it as if it's a person coming to me and like that's them. I might try and picture them in my head, but yeah, I just use them as prompts for practice essentially. So show me how you practice. One of them is this, as in like literally for practice, literally practice.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So let's just choose which character from Buffy. I wrote down a few characters that I'm familiar with.
Okay.
Main cast, but sometimes I think I figured maybe it's fun to read for a character that we're very familiar with, but maybe also sometimes to read for a character that we have no idea who is supposed to be and the other one maybe does know. I feel I don't really watch a lot of, or I'm not a very big movie watcher. I watch like the just the normal regular stuff, like mindless entertainment. But I feel like you know a little bit more, so maybe I'll end up reading for a character I don't know.
Okay, we'll try and keep it with characters you do know, so that'll make it.
Yeah, or maybe then it's gonna be like, ooh, how did you pick up on that? I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So we have Buffy, obviously. I loved Willow as a kid. She was like such a cool witch. And then Tara, Cordelia, which I love now. She's really cool. Xander, Angel, Spike, Faith. I don't know who else is like Drusilla.
Doing divination for Drusilla is interesting because she's a diviner. She's a fortune teller because she has visions. That's quite interesting. There's of course Anya, who I absolutely love as well.
Yes, I forgot about her. Oh,
Anya is awesome.
Anya
and Giles.
Yeah. Oh, Giles, obviously. I kind of want to be Giles with this mug. It's not the mug he has, obviously, but if it were green, just pretend. Yeah. No characters in Buffy feel out of place. All hilarious. Oh dear, I've never watched Buffy. After this live, go watch Buffy.
It's so good.
Yeah, total cult series. Okay, so how do we do this? Let's shuffle and then, I don't know, find a question or something and we both read for the same, or
how are we picking a character? We can assign. I have polyhedral dice because I play Dungeons and Dragons because I'm a nerd. So we could assign numbers to each of the characters, and then I can roll the equivalent die. and then whatever number comes up is the character we read for, which is how I pick tarot cards sometimes with guys.
I love it. Okay. I added Drusilla, Anya, and Giles.
So how many people? I'll pick the right.
Yeah. 10 people.
10.
11.
So I needed
11.
Okay. I'll roll a d12. I'll roll a d12, and if I roll a 12, I'll just roll it again.
Okay.
Because obviously we've got 11 people. Cool. So that is 11.
So the last one in the list is Giles.
Giles. I watch a podcast called The Rewatcher. They rewatch episodes of Buffy, and they refer to Giles as Tweed Magic.
Okay.
Because he's a cutie patootie. Okay, so Giles, what kind of question would Giles be asking?
Why aren't you training? I mean, is it like we can switch up? Is Giles asking a question, or oh my gosh, maybe we need a little bit of inspiration, guys. Let's just bring in not just who you want us to read for, but I see, it's getting busy in the comment section. Cool. So maybe if you have a burning tarot question for Giles, suggest it, or for any fictional character here. Let's see, maybe I can pick a card for his mindset or something. Or just general advice for Giles.
What does Giles need to be paying attention to right now? What is something for him to be mindful of right now? Are we reading for a particular point in the show, or is this post Buffy? Because I've not read the comics, so.
No, me neither. Oh, let's just go for just the general Giles, essence.
General Giles essence. Essence of Giles. Oh, Dark Crystal. Just saying essence made me think of the Dark Crystal. Love that film. Giles probably needs a nap. Giles always needs a nap. I'm saying that he gets a lot of involuntary naps by getting bonked on the head and knocked out all the time. Poor sod.
Poor guy's just trying to read.
Yeah.
Drink his coffee, which is strange because he's supposed to be British. Don't all British people only drink tea?
I have drunk regular tea, herbal tea, and coffee today. I'm like polydrinkerous. Polybeverages.
I've got my card.
Okay, advice for Giles. Where is Giles' headspace at? What does he need to be mindful of right now? I'm imagining him he's in the midst of Buffy's still at high school, and she's a handful, and he's like, oh, what do I need to be paying attention to with this wily Slayer? That's what I've got in my mind. Okay.
Totally, that's the vision I had too. Oh, Tower. Ooh, okay.
So this is interesting because when I think of Giles in the early seasons of Buffy, he's very much trained by the council to go by the book, follow everything to the letter, and he tries to train Buffy in that way, but it doesn't work because she's not like a lot of other Slayers that have come in the past. She was a Valley girl, right? She lived in LA. She was Cordelia before she became the Slayer. Yeah. And so he's in this position. He needs to bear in mind that actually Buffy has come into his life like this great big jolt of lightning, and it's shaken everything that he was taught by the council. and it's going to really change the foundation. He's going to build his foundation up of what it means to train and mentor a slayer, and ultimately in the long term that actually also changes how the council functions and what happens with the council long term. So I'd say this is to say, you know, he needs to allow this jolt, this Buffy that's come into his life, to allow it to break everything down and build his own way of doing things, because she
Wow.
does things her own way.
Yeah, that makes so much sense, right, for the show.
Yeah.
And it's like that, because of course you're right, the show, it changes, and that's why it's so good, because there's so much character development. So which version of Giles are we reading for? Well, the iconic, yeah, the iconic one, I guess, that you just think of immediately, just the stressed out guy in the library trying to teach Buffy and being frustrated with her. I got the Two of Wands here.
Ooh.
So to me, that also makes sense. I mean, and this is, you guys know, I love this deck, right? And this is the purple paradoxical version. I look also at the symbols around it, and this little thingy, which is just a decorative thing, looks like a free, you know, a bird flying off. So I feel like he wants to control so much of his own realm, everything that he knows. He is super prepared, even maybe over prepared. I see this as the preparation card. And yeah, it, you know, tying in with the tower, he's basically shocked to see that he has to change up his whole what's it called, like a method of teaching someone.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think, you know, with the wands there, he is passionate about his work, so that's good. But then also he also has that surprising ability of changing how he does it, and then also inspiring the slayer in question.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with that free aspect here, where he's just about to actually training someone else to go into the world and to do it, and he's basically like a mother in the nest with Buffy as one of the tiny chicks that's going to go out into the world and make a huge difference. And he feels the responsibility of all of that, but also, you know, with this card, it's a bit of like the capability of adjusting. And yeah, of course, that in the Marseille you get a cross, so there is a bit of that frustration, a bit of that, yeah, needing to handle things differently. But he's learning, and yeah.
But also the thing that he does with Buffy is a lot of sparring. So you actually literally see them at times fighting with staffs together.
Yeah.
So they literally do cross staffs. And what does Buffy use to slay vampires?
The stake.
Exactly. And I was thinking those little arabesques, they look also like a little bit like bats.
These ones?
Yeah, they have almost like a batness about them as well, because of the shape that bats look like. So it's almost like bats and stakes as well.
Yeah, totally. Oh gosh, that's so good. So actually, basically, we're telling him, keep going strong and maybe don't be so set in your ways. It's okay to, well, the ultimate shock in the tower, where he has a Cordelia in front of him instead of one of those other, I forgot the name, Kendra, super serious slayers who don't know about the world and boys in high school. But it's you know, Two of Wands, beginning of the journey, and I see that as a mostly preparation card. So he still has time to change his ways. So yeah,
Those work quite nicely together, didn't they?
Yeah, it's nice to combine the cards.
Yeah.
Cool. Can you show the tower image again if you still have the card?
Oh crap! I just shuffled it back in because I'm a fidget. I'll find. Oh, there it is. It's right there. Oh, that's. So basically, I don't know if my camera is gonna focus on it. Come on, camera. So you've got a tower block. and then it's got sort of zoomed into this apartment, and the zombies have broken in and destroying their chill vibes.
Wow. Cool. Well, it's hilarious because I'm reading in the comments people have never seen Buffy. So,
well, luckily we've not really spoiled anything for people who do want to go and watch Buffy. Hello to the people that have come in since we started doing the reading as well.
yay, true. Okay, so maybe we could switch to a movie, maybe The Craft or Practical Magic. Very cozy.
Ooh, okay. Do we want gnarly witches, or do we want? I guess in Practical Magic they're also kind of gnarly, given what ends up happening. So which would you prefer?
Hey, Joanna. I'm thinking let's do the sweet, cozy ones. Practical Magic.
Okay.
All right, so the characters that I wrote down, obviously Sally and Jillian, Kylie and Antonia, which, by the way, in the book, I read the book years later than, I knew the movie very well. Actually, in the book, Antonia is the older one and Kylie is the younger one.
Okay.
And they switched that up, maybe because, I don't know, the actresses looked like an Antonia and Kylie. Anyway, Aunt Jet and Aunt Frances, which I'm sorry, I have to tell people because I didn't realize this for the longest time, is the same actress as Rizzo from Grease.
Yeah, Stockard Channing.
You
didn't know that was Stockard Channing?
I know Grease so well, and I know Practical Magic so well, and I never made. And I was like, wait a second, she's Rizzo from Grease. And I love
Stockard Channing's awesome.
Yeah,
their aunts are awesome.
Yes.
And is it Diane Weiss as well? Diane Weiss is the other aunt as well, I think. Yeah, I love both of them because Diane Weiss is in like Edward Scissorhands and The Lost Boys, and so love her.
Yeah, true. Yeah, and she has a lot of kind of similar roles, but this is just so cute. Love the aunts. Everybody loves the aunts. They're amazing. Yes,
the aunts
like
are
maybe
awesome.
it'll be about just the aunts. Actually, the other book, or one of the other books, is about the aunts younger. I think.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that. I've not read any of the books. I have heard that in the book, actually, in the I don't want to spoil the end of the film. Never mind. I don't want to spoil the end of the film, so I won't say it. I'll tell you afterwards.
Please remind me to not do spoilers because I'm a mess regarding that. Then we have the so-called love interests, Officer Gary and Jimmy Angelo. Did I miss anybody?
I don't think so. It's quite a small, focused cast.
Yeah. Someone's suggesting Tarot the movie. Can you believe I didn't see it? Probably because it's.
I've not seen it either. I will get around to seeing it eventually, though. I love me some horror.
Because this is funny, actually. I meant to say we're doing like spooky edition with spooky things or autumn, feel. But I'm not really big on horror or even thriller. I don't really do well with thrillers. I'm like so tense, I can't watch.
Yeah, that's like my main watching is like TV shows and films that are spooky, horror, thrillers. I love me a bit of Nordic noir as well. So anything that's kind of maudlin and creepy. Yeah.
Okay, so we have 8 people here. Do you want to just choose or you want to roll the dice?
I've got a D8. I can roll a D8. It's the little spinny top one. Where are you? I've got a D8. Okay, I've got my
0, by the way.
Cool. I've got my little D8.
So handy.
That's 6. Oh yeah, Night Before Christmas.
Aunt Frances. Rizzo.
So which one is Aunt Rizzo? Yeah, that's what I thought. She's Aunt Frances. So okay. So what would she be asking? That's the question, literally.
They've had such a incredible life. Like, it's probably about their Was she the one with did she have the babies, or was it the other one? I never knew. I never picked up on that in the movies. Who's
Do you know what? I
mother?
never thought about that, but I've never thought about that ever. What the hell?
We don't even know. Whatever. She's an aunt. Fine.
So hang on, they must have another sister that died because of the curse. That's their mum. Their mum was the one that had them. That's why they're aunts. Yeah. So because any of the others, so they're like spinster aunts. Totally. Because they did it because of the curse. They didn't want to propagate it. I don't know.
Maybe she would ask what type of spell would be helpful in sort of the storyline of the movie, as if we can try to not spoil it for people who haven't seen it.
Okay, so how would we word that? What's the best kind of magic to throw at this particular human-shaped problem?
Okay, good, cool.
That's interesting, because I've not really thought about relating. I've used tarot cards in magic, but I've not related specific cards to types of magic. So this is going to be interesting. I imagine if we are going by the core, the suits, elemental associations, that could tie into the kind of magic. Mm-hmm. Like wands being candle magic, cups being sort of water, being sort of potions. Swords being any kind of like poppet situation, or anything that involves sharp things like railroad spikes or coffin nails. And then maybe pentacles would be like plant magic because of earth. That could be a way. And then I'll just wing it for the majors. Right. Okay. So what is the best kind of magic to throw at this particular human-shaped problem? Asks Aunt Frances. Oh, it's the Queen of Swords.
I also got a court card.
Oh, the King of Swords. No, cups. Cups are ghosts. Sorry, yeah. Imps are wands. Pumpkins are.
Okay.
Oh, it's bats, isn't it? Yeah.
How do I not spoil it? Because I got King of here. So, yeah, obviously, I mean, just going off in the line of what you said with the cups being potions, which is kind of similar to what they also use in the movie. Mm-hmm. I think it's definitely so leaning in towards the potion type of magic, so kitchen witchcraft. And then since in this deck it's ghosts, it's also involving the realm of the dead, and maybe even like bringing in advice from the realm of the dead. So maybe it's maybe it's actually a sort of potion that she could drink herself to communicate with someone on the other side.
Yeah, that's where my mind was going as well.
And then it tries to understand and kind of translate what is supposed to happen. Because I don't know how you read. Do you have elements for the courts themselves, like kings? Often they're read as fire.
Yeah, some people read them as fire. Some people read them as like earth, because they're the final. Like, it's really interesting to see how different people read them. And I've played around, and I don't think I've fully settled completely on or how
Really?
I view them. Even now, like it's weird because someone asked me recently how I read the courts and could I do a demo, and I was like, how do I read the courts? And it got me thinking, and then I started like picking through all my notes and all my books and trying to actually, I had never really fully nailed it down. It's all just sort of in various notebooks and just in my brain. So I've been doing that, and actually I've got 4 cards here. Show me how you practice. This is another thing I'm doing today. I'll just show you. I've been reading Charlie Claire Burgess. Sorry, this is a side quest. Typical me. Sorry. Show me how you practice. So Charlie Claire Burgess wrote Radical Tarot, and it's blowing my mind. And I got to the courts bit, and I really enjoy the way that they've reframed the courts. And so one of the ways that I practice when I'm studying tarot is it's a bit chaos magic-y. So I will like say for a certain amount of time, like this week or this month, I'm going to use this very specific type of way of looking at the courts or looking at numerology or whatever, and see how it feels and how it fits into what I already like. But I try to like work with it and like take out everything else that I usually work with, and just really try it on as a. And so I've got these written down for this particular thing to practice the way that Charlie Claire Burgess works with the courts. So they see the queen as the sage, and that's where the mind and the heart meet. It's true rational wisdom and heart-based wisdom coming together in the queen. And with the Queen of Swords, they all have a title, so like an archetype. And the archetype of the Queen of Swords, Charlie has as the judge, which is interesting, right? Because we're having to make a judgment about a character who is clearly not a very nice person. And here we've got where the heart and mind meet, cuts ties, sets boundaries, which also ties in with the film, right? Because we are denying access, hacks through bullshit, and then also, basically, I really like the idea of like the setting boundaries, because it's. I also like the idea of swords being like pocket magic, or using sharp implements, because that person really needs to really deserves a good poking.
Yeah. Wow.
Sorry, I went on like a whole side quest, but yeah.
I love it. I love it. That's the whole point. And it's cool. Do your thing. Show us how you practice. That's so cool. And then, so you got Queen of Swords, right? So the judge makes sense. And then actually she then kind of, maybe with this potion where she's able to access the other side, basically the other realm of the dead, she then is put in the position of making a specific decision and able to also follow it through, do it. Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. And so it's really interesting to me that you are reading the tarot and it still flows with the court cards, but you are, you're undecided, or in the or even like experimenting with it to see which element, etc., works best for you. That's really cool, because I actually remember way in the beginning, I had this book that said that the kings were fire, queens water. That will always keep making sense for me. Pages earth, that also never changed for me personally,
because the knights are fast, so they're wands. Yeah,
and then the knights are well, the knights in the first system I learned were air, and
that also could be quick, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then if you think about it, I mean, this is maybe like very traditional tarot, but it is how I understand what it means, without using a lot of words that I don't know, because English isn't my first language. But that's one of the things. The woman, so the queen, is the most sacred female, or feminine element, than water, right? And then the kings would then be the sacred masculine, which is fire, so water and fire. So in that sense, I guess it makes sense. But through experience, I started reading the kings as air, this came from Marseille, I think, for sure, Marseille Studies. Um, an old book that I had that said, like, look at the card or the element of the card itself, and then on top you would have the kings looking down on it, understanding it with the mind, and then in the middle, in the heart, which is similar to what you explained, you would have the queens who feel it, who understand it in the sense where they, yeah, embody the element, and then
Mm.
you have the knights, which to me then are fire. They take it out into the world, so they're in front of it, and then behind it, it's like the seed, the student, the energy that has to grow up still, and that's then Earth. But
It's
I
so
also like,
interesting.
yeah,
There's so many different ways, and I've seen the argument for kings as Earth because they are the like they're the final court card, and they've sort of manifested that reality. They're rooted in that reality, and the pages being air because they're the initial idea, and then that sparks the inspiration and the passion of the fire of the ones, and then you always, it seems the queens are always coming up as water. So there's
yeah.
so many different ways, and I've played around with that. But I don't think Charlie Claire Burgess even mentions quartz as specific elements in their book. I've not seen that yet, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's something to always have a futz around with. So I'm working that out at the moment again because I'm always tinkering with like tarot in my
Yeah,
head.
no, that's so cool, because and it makes also sure in a way that you never get bored with your practice, right? Because sometimes we realize it's like, damn, I've been reading these cards for so long, and it's always I read it in the same way, which is kind of what I alluded to in the beginning of this stream, saying, isn't it amazing to get inspired by other tarot readers to, talk about the practice? And yeah, this is really, really cool, really amazing. So I think by now I am very set in my ways and how I read the courts, but that doesn't, change. Or no, I'm trying to say that doesn't take away from, being inspired from all of this. And
Yeah,
then,
you're always learning and
yeah,
integrating new information, and it makes sense for you to be dialed into what you, because you're a professional reader. And I think for me, because I would class myself as just a long time amateur, I've never felt like I've had to dial down. I feel like if I took the step to do professional reading, I would really be like, right, okay, what I really need to drill down into, what I, at least for the time being, and see how that went. But as it stands, I've always been futzing with it, and I think especially once I started learning Marseille, I was like, right, oh, it's like a whole other thing, and it really just breaks your mind open with regards to tarot. But I also think because I'm always futzing with it, that's possibly why I never feel comfortable being a professional reader, because I'm always like, oh, I don't know, because then I'd have to like hoist my flag to a particular, which you wouldn't. It's not like, doesn't have to be fully
yeah.
judges, but maybe
No,
that's part of it.
that's interesting. I do remember you did do tarot readings for people you don't know.
Oh yeah, I have done, yeah, loads over the years, yeah, but just not,
Cool.
not professionally, because
Yeah.
there's no stress if you're just in a cafe or a bar and someone's like, oh my god, you read tarot. Clearly I have a tarot deck in front of me. I'm
Yeah.
reading it right now. You've just interrupted my reading, but I'm joking. I actually think it's quite nice when people ask. But yeah, so then I've done that. I did a bunch last summer as well.
Oh, so
At my
nice. See,
local.
there you go. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but
Um,
when there's money involved, I'm like, oh, I need to be really good. Whereas if I'm not, it doesn't matter if they're like, this is horseshit, you're rubbish. Oh, sorry.
well, believe it, we still get those types of
Well,
clients from time to time. But well, also just side note, and I know people in the comments will recognize that you can be so, can comfortable with the way you read the courts, and then you start reading another system like the Thoth, and then the whole thing is upside down again. For me, not, because again, I'm trying to actually do the opposite. Oh, that's also fun, because I know that you love to read a Marseille deck as Marseille, Smith Way as Smith Way, Thoth as Thoth, which is really cool to me. For me, I would get probably, like overwhelmed. And I like the whole one tarot practice thing, even though obviously each deck has its own thing. But for instance, the pages being so clearly earth or not princesses then in the Thoth deck, that also makes sense to me, that the pages aren't always the young, naive ones. They still are element of earth, but it means something else. It means like that they are rooted and they do understand its essence without being basically tainted by the outside world, kind of thing. Okay, rant over.
You're synthesizing everything into one particular thing for yourself. I think that's cool. A lot of people do that. I feel like I will eventually do that. I just haven't. I'm like a piece of squishy Play-Doh that's been unmolded.
Hey, you got a question in the comments.
Kelly, maybe the way you switch things up is just the way that tarot needs to be read in the moment. Maybe that's one way to look at it. Or maybe I'm just indecisive, and it's not indecisive. It's just I'm always experiment. I'm such a little experimenter. I'm always like, I just like to mess around with stuff all the time. I have like so many notebooks full of notes and of tarot, and from going back years. Like,
lovely. Oh, hey, look at that. I totally didn't see the request. Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nah.
Okay, so this is not a staple in what I watch every year, but it's the perfect Halloween goes into Christmas. So Jack Skellington, Sally, Dr. Finkelstein,
Oogie Boogie.
Who else we have? Oogie Boogie, all right.
Oogie Boogie. Zero, my favorite. The dog.
Is that the dog? Yeah.
I think we should read for Zero. That would be just so cute.
Let's read for Zero. Cool.
Zero is asking, I think, where he's always like pestering Jack for snacks. He's always like, have you got some treats? And Jack is like, you can't have, this is basically me talking about my dog. I think you can't have snacks every minute of every single day, because you would end up like what's her chops, Violet Beauregard in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, just hysterical. So Jack has hidden the treats somewhere in their home, and Zero's been trying to sniff them out with his little like ghosty glowy nose, and he can't find them because his ghost nose can't smell very well. So he's gone to a tarot reader and he's like, where are treats hidden? Can you give me a clue?
Girl, I love that you're getting into it. And now I love that. And now we are reading or trying to decipher another thing that's really actually hard to see in the cards often, which is location. Or maybe even how to get there, basically. Because before we were trying to decipher spell work, which again is one.
Yeah, we're not making it easy for ourselves.
We really aren't. But this is like, this is the type of exercise or game that can be basically anything. So here we go.
Oh my God, I've never really done location, so I don't know why I thought that was a good question.
Sometimes I get people asking me at the store when I'm, when I'm the professional tarot reader for the day, where should we move to? So I have to like do the disclaimer sandwich of saying like, well, I can pick a card, but it doesn't mean that tarot is going to say Spain or another region in the Netherlands. It's going to probably indicate something, but also probably, how it feels or the association you have with it. Yeah. And once I remember that the Six of Cups card, and then with the house in the background, but then also the feeling of like, well, maybe look at where you grew up. Did you have nice childhood memories, stuff like that.
That's it. Yeah, I like that interpretation. Very cool.
I'll let you go first for Zero, trying to find his next.
Okay. Zero wants to know, where has Jack hidden his jar of treats? He wants to sniff them out. Where are Zero's treats? Oh, we have the Wheel of Fortune. But It's La Rue des Possibles. Possible. You speak French. La Rue des Possibles. Ooh, I'll stop putting my finger over the bloody. That would help, wouldn't it? If I stop. So the Wheel of Possibility or the Wheel of Fortune.
That is a strange way of putting it
It's
in
linked.
French language, but yeah.
It's a book series that's written in French. It's a French book series, so
okay.
It might be to do with the story.
Yeah, probably.
I've not read the books.
But it must have, yeah, it would be possibilité. Yeah, thank you. No, but maybe that's like, you know, it has to have something to do with possibilities, but then it's probably a term used in the book. Cool.
I'm going to go really literal, and I'm going to say Jack's hidden them in the body of the grandfather clock. There's a jar open because of the clock face. I'm like, it's he's hidden it in the body of the clock. That's
there
or
you
it's
go.
going to be somewhere near the body of the clock. Somewhere near the clock.
That is so nice. So question answered. There we go. And here, Ace of Bats. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing, Kelly Bear. It's that way.
It's that way. It's that way to
follow the bats and you'll find it. And then they turn into butterflies, apparently, and moths in your clock. And that's where the treats are. Go away from the kitty, because dogs don't like cats.
That's so cute.
Yeah, you know, this is just, I think it's with the sword element, very, very clear question answer.
Yep.
We did it.
Yep. Cool.
Okay. Yeah, okay. That was Nightmare Before Christmas. Do we want to do another one?
Yeah, who wants to? Does anyone have spooky or the ones that we've asked mentioned? They mentioned Death Becomes Her, Charmed. Stranger Things was one that you were.
Yeah. I don't know. I realized I don't know the characters by name.
Oh, okay.
It's like all the kids, and then the older guy, and then Winona Ryder.
Hopper, and there's Dustin, Will, Elle, obviously. Oh my God, I've not watched it for ages, so I can't remember all their names either.
See how good you're doing, and then you say the names, and then I write now. Yeah, I know who they are, but I couldn't tell you. Yeah, I mean,
is it Joyce? No, that's Buffy's mum.
Isn't Joyce the mom in?
No, it's
Will's
that's Buffy's mum. What is Will's mum's name? Winona.
Very similar name.
Ranger. Who does she bloody play? Bloody hell, why does it not say? Who does she play? Oh, Joyce. Yeah, it is Joyce. It is bloody Joyce. I thought I was like, my brain was like Fritzen because it's also Buffy's mum's name is Joyce.
They're
Joyce
both
Summers.
Joyce.
So I was thinking maybe Joyce is trying to decide whether she needs to cut it off with Hop, because it seems like it's, I don't know, they got a weird dynamic. I don't know if it's healthy. She's like, is this good for me?
I'm trying to think what happens in the show, but maybe it's good to not know. Did it end? Did Stranger? No, they're doing another.
They've got another series coming out. So.
Okay.
I
do like the show.
Oh, I know something that wouldn't spoil or anything. What is a nice thing Joyce can do for herself to have some me time, because she's always like worrying about everyone else?
Totally.
So Joyce, what can Joyce do? Some self-care, some me time. What is it Joyce needs to do for A little R&R. What does Joyce need? Does she need to be doing right now? I've got. Oh, that is so fucking fun. Sorry, I keep swearing. Sorry. Oh my god, I'm trying. I'm really trying because my potty mouth. This is based, I think, on The Lost Boys.
Oh yeah.
Zeroni noodles, Michael. But also, it's the hanged man. It's the hanged one, and she just needs to take. Like, she literally needs to take some time out. That's so funny. She just needs to like take some time out and see some things from a different perspective. And then seeing what you've got is just so funny because they go together so nicely.
Yes, and it's also kind of like screaming at her, like, take some time off, take it easy, stop worrying that much, stressing that much, because her role in the whole first season is just yelling on a phone.
The woman is stressed. The woman is stressed.
Poor woman is very stressed.
I would. It's so funny. It's not even giving her specific advice. It's like, you just need to stop and you need to just rebalance yourself. We don't even need to be worrying about like spa days or anything. You just need to, for the moment, like, just stop. Just stop. Also, isn't that funny because of the upside down?
Wow. Yes. Ooh. Cool.
And that temperance between two different planes. And how they kind of merge, they can kind of merge into each other.
The mixing, for sure. Yeah. And I mean, it's gonna be almost cruel to say this, but there's also an intemperancy aspect of, it's a very shadow work type of card for me. Of course, the self-love aspect of it, but it's like bringing back the shattered parts of yourself and, making a whole again, or actually making a new whole, creating a new whole, finding the gold within, kind of very alchemical process type thing. But
and then there's
kind of retrieve or find what you've lost, quite literally, in the show, which is very traumatic, but then also retrieve what you've lost maybe throughout the years. She feels like a woman who's lost a part of herself in the daily life struggles kind of things. So she's put so much effort into basically surviving and being the best mom that she can be, and now it's basically the cards are screaming at her to say, or to take a step back and put herself first. Really confirm.
And there's also that element of temperance, which I think gets forgotten, and it's again something Charlie Claire Burgess mentions in one of her books, or one of their books. Apologies. That temperance, to temper something, actually means to, like, when we think about tempering a blade, is to actually make it stronger. To temper a blade, it's a process. It's a process in blacksmithing, to temper the steel. And so it's a process, in a way, a chemical process rather than an alchemical process, a physical and chemical process that strengthens. So she will, Joyce, she will come back stronger from this break if she takes it.
Lovely. Wow. Cool. I wanna move over to Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, cool.
The OG movie for me.
Yep.
So,
I'm happy with that.
Winifred, obviously, the one who steals the show. Sarah, isn't that Sarah Jessica Parker?
Yeah, she plays Sarah. Is it Mary?
Sarah?
Is Kathy? Plays Mary.
And then we got Max the boy, Danny the little sister, Allison, who's the love interest of the boy. That's how far I came. Oh wait,
we've got Thackeray Binks.
That's the cat?
Yeah.
and also the ex-boyfriend who's a zombie.
Eddie, that's Doug Jones playing Eddie. I love that he got more of. I think I really liked season 2, episode 2. the second film,
Yeah.
because Eddie's in it so much more, and I'm such a hardcore like Doug Jones fangirl that I think I just was like, it's got more Eddie in it. I
Yeah.
just love him so much.
I think they
So yeah.
realized it's a really nice character. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just fun. And also because Doug Jones has become so much more famous since then through doing like the Del Toro films. He's done so many Del Toro films, and for doing like being the Baron in What We Do in the Shadows TV series and a bunch of other stuff. He's in Star Trek Discovery as Saru. So he's really like got his flowers finally, bless him. He deserves it. So yeah, he got a
Sweet.
bigger role this time. Yeah.
That's really cool. Okay. Oh, I think we're reading for Eddie, right? I mean,
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, 100%. But what's the question?
does he want Winifred back or Sarah? Who was it?
Where who? Yeah, does he
Where
or
is your head?
or is he sing? Yeah, where is his head? Because he loses it at one point. I literally. Or is he single and ready to mingle?
Oh, relationship advice for Eddie. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So
Okay.
what's he asking? Like, how does he like get back on the dating scene?
Yeah.
Like some just general advice. He's single and ready to. Eddie is single and ready to mingle. Like, where should he be looking? What should he be doing? What can he do to like find love? Because he deserves it. Those Sanderson sisters like really like gave him the runaround.
Poor guy.
Him, that's sweetie.
Okay, see you next time.
Oh, bye, Rob. Thank you for joining. I got the 10 of Cups. And you got the 9 of Cups. That's a progression. That's a progression. He needs to go out. Right, sorry, go on, you do yours, because I feel like that makes the progression make sense.
Absolutely. Also, like one of the first things I thought of in this particular case is if Eddie was in front of me right now, asking about what should I do for my love life, this could be taken quite literally. Go and hang out with the ghosts, as many ghosts as know, and welcome them to your party and be the life of the party. Mostly, just count on yourself being the bright, smart, happy fellow that you are, and you will attract the right energies.
The right girl for him.
The right ghoul. Yeah, girls.
The right girl for him.
Yeah, and just be very confident in who you are. You don't need to change anything about yourself. Just open that door. And yeah, actually, also, I feel like this box that the person is sitting on in this card.
It's like his coffin. It's like his coffin.
Exactly. It looks like his coffin. So it kind of
He's got Binks.
What? Oh, Binks, yes! Yeah, maybe bring Binks as a kind of like sidekick for the evening, so Binks can talk you up to the right ghoul, and mostly because it's his coffin here, or basically, yeah, his grave. Then let the ghouls come to you. Maybe just feel that you can stay in your own happy, safe environment so that you're more comfortable. There you go. That's my advice.
Yeah. I love it. And then for the 10 of Cups, obviously we often think about like family and completion, but 10s can also be like excess. They can mean rewards. So I think I'll just show the card because I'm like waving it around. Sorry. So we've got sort of a family with stuff going on in the background there because it's a zombie apocalypse in this deck. But I think for Eddie, he's putting himself out there, he's socializing, he's mingling, which is really good because you're not going to meet people if you don't put yourself out there. but it's also to be careful not to overdo it too much too quickly, because there can be an excess. You know, when people are like dating 5 people at the same time and it can all get very confusing. It's like focus on like quality connections and building something that's a bit more like, take it slow. Like you don't have to rush to the end goal. Just, you know, try, because obviously the 9 of Cups, sometimes we talk about it being the wish fulfillment card, or like there's those 9 cups in the background in the Rider-Waite-Smith, and it's like almost quite excessive. That guy is standing there looking really happy with all the drinks behind him, all the ghosts behind him, but it can speak to maybe having one too many sometimes, and like ending up with the wrong person, this flame. If we're going to take the picture, like you don't want to end up with the wrong person. So put yourself out there, but like don't go bananas with it. Just take your time, and the rewards will come. The rewards will come. That will happen. You just need to.
Sweet. You know what I also like about the card that you have there? Because I noticed the sort of coffin kind of thing. So location came into the reading of like, stay where you are, let people, or let the ghosts come to you. And then your card is in this tropical, you know, on the beach. And so maybe it's like, once you find someone that you want to date, go on a holiday with them to check.
Take a trip. Take a beach holiday.
Yeah.
Enjoy some connections and you know, cups, relationships, emotions. So nice. Cool. Oh, Eddie.
Have we been live for over an hour already?
Oh wow, we have. I've just looked at the time.
We only read 5 cards each. No, we're doing good. We're doing good. So let me see. Are we seeing all the comments? I think so. We haven't done the craft or charmed. Beetlejuice. Interview with the vampire. Maybe you have another one that you really love.
I mean, I really love the craft.
Yeah.
As well. So I think most people are familiar with it.
Yes, let's go for the craft. Awesome. Maybe we could do like 2 more, something like that. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah.
2 more, 3 more. We'll see.
Whatever.
So the craft. I love the craft. We have Nancy, obviously. Coolest name ever, by the way, Nancy Downs. Bonnie. Yep. Sarah. Rochelle.
Rochelle.
Sorry? Laura Louie, the one who is mean to Rochelle.
Oh yeah, it's not her.
Bully, yeah. Ooh, wait, Chris.
Oh yeah.
Who else has a significant role?
Significant role? Don't know. Again, it's quite a dialed in small cast.
Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people.
Okay, well that's just a classic D6. I'm going to roll this pink one. That's 2. So is that Bonnie?
Yeah, I said yeah. Let's go for Bonnie. I said Bonnie first, but Sarah was.
Oh no, if it's.
I don't know. Maybe Bonnie's better. She's like. I think that's maybe more interesting to read for.
Because Sarah is Robin Tunney's character, right?
Yeah.
Sarah is the main protagonist.
Most down to earth, protagonist. Yeah.
And Bonnie Nev Campbell's character.
Yeah.
Right. Because I know Rochelle is Rachel True. Because Rochelle and Nancy are like my 2 favorites. Also, Rochelle's the only one with like genuine beef. Like that girl was being like I guess Bonnie's like wanting to not be covered in those horrible like disfiguration, which is very traumatic, especially for a teenage girl. But like Rochelle, I'm like, why does Rochelle get screwed over? Like she's actually had genuine beef because someone was being a racist twat to her. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Real unfair, crazy stuff basically. So I mean, yeah, let's try for Bonnie.
What would
What
Bonnie
would
be
she be
asking?
asking? Yeah. Oof. I'm thinking along the lines of, but just thinking out loud, like, what she hopes her coven helps her do, or something, or how can
Or
they?
should she form a new coven?
Yeah, and then maybe what would that be like?
Yeah. Okay. Is she ready to form a new coven? Has she learned her lesson essentially? And is she ready to form a new coven?
Yeah.
Or is she going to get up to the same like nonsense, petty, catty nonsense?
Go. Let's do that.
Okay. Is Bonnie ready to look for, seek out members of a new coven? Okay. Ooh, interesting. I've got
Whoa.
the five of mirrors, which is the 5 of cups. Try and see what you get.
Wow, I didn't see that coming, that it was a deck with mirrors. Whew. Because I always really like just the, the I don't know, the story, I guess, around Bonnie, because it is such a traumatic thing. But then she goes through this sort of like almost mean girl phase in order to heal herself. And I think that's just really, I don't know, I always thought that was interesting. I got the 7 of Wands.
Ooh, we got 2 unbalanced cards in these.
Yeah, because you got 5 of Cups then.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 7 of Wands, very fiery. This the fiery element of, obviously, and I have a personal, like, well, more personal than some other cards, relationship to this energy, which is really mostly for me often about sticking up for yourself. So really being the one in charge, and not ever becoming that pushover again. I mean, I don't think she ever truly was, but she was influenced heavily by other characters that were, just more comfortable in their own skin, literally also for her. And so here it's, yeah, whether she keeps the change that she went through or not, this is like an endurance card also, kind of like it's almost like a test. Is she going to accept the challenge of becoming a true leader? And then what type of leader? Is she really going to be authentic to herself? And then I think it's going to start a whole journey of trying to figure out who she truly is.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. I
That's
like
the
that.
first little.
With the 5 of mirrors and the 5 of cups. So for mirrors, I like the idea of like reflection and taking a long, hard look at yourself. Fives sort of being like that kind of challenge or some sort of upset. It's like, and in the realm of like emotions and relationships, it's like there might be a little bit more to resolve conflict, maybe within herself, emotional conflict within herself over the way that she behaved throughout with her previous coven. And so maybe she's needs to resolve that before she gets to that rebalancing harmony of the 6s to then, and then on to the 7. So she's sort of like standing up for herself, but she's more sure of herself. So I would say, there's still a bit, she's on her way, but she's not quite there yet. So there's a bit of more work to be done, I think, before she's ready to actually start seeking out a new coven. There's a bit more self-work, a bit of self-reflecting, to bit of inner strife to resolve, maybe.
Yeah.
I think.
Together, that's cool. Cool. um. Okay, you can choose the last one if you the one
Okay.
that you really like. I can't wait to know more about this person, creature.
I think I really want to do Death Becomes Her because I just love
Do
that
it.
film so much. So much. I saw it at the cinema when it came out. I was like 11 and we went to the cinema to see, me and my friend went to the cinema. Like the cinema's
Oh,
literally just down the road from my house, so it wasn't that far.
yeah.
But yeah. There's no way I think my mum would let me these days, like in 2024 as an 11-year-old, go to the cinema on my own. But
Yeah. Where did you grow up?
I grew up here not far from like Camden area in London. So
Yeah.
like North London way. But yeah, it was the Odeon Cinema on Holloway Road. It's still there.
Oh,
And that's where I went to see it. Saw many a film there over the years. So
nice.
yeah.
And
I don't live in that area anymore. Sorry?
I always loved this movie. I saw it first on TV, I think, and
So good.
yeah, it's just brilliant, really. For anybody who
It's
hasn't
so
seen it,
good.
yeah.
It's so good. It's iconic. It's iconic. It's quite quotable as well. So we've got Madeline. Madeline, I need to. And then we've got. Oh my god, I can't like thinking their names of my names. Are the names of them?
Helen. Goldie Hawn is Helen.
Helen. Yeah, Helen. Yeah, Helen. Uh, Madeline. And so Madeline is Meryl Streep, Queen. We've got Helen. We've got her. They're like poor, hard done by Dr. Ernest Menville, as the guy they're falling over,
Yeah.
fighting over. And I think we need at least one. I think maybe Lyle, or what's her name? Liesl Lyle, the Isabella Rossellini's character.
Oh yes.
So I
Whoa.
think they would be like the four we would read for.
Mm.
Shall I
I would
roll a D?
prefer either Madeline or Helen.
Yeah, I think so too. Should we just do a D? I'll roll a D3, and if I I'll roll a D. I don't have a D3. I'll roll a D4. 1 and 2. Who's even and who's odds? Who would be
Madeline.
even?
Madeline is even. Helen is odd.
Okay, so I'm going to roll a D4. That's a 2. So it's for Madeline.
Madeline. Meryl Streep's character.
Yep. Oh my god, I love her. I'm watching her in Only Murders in the Building at the moment. I love her so much. Hello, Free Spirit. Welcome. So what would Madeline be asking? It's clearly going to be something incredibly shallow.
Yeah. How can I outshine Helen?
Yeah. How do I outdo Helen?
Yeah. Or
is this in their like phase before they've done the actual thing that they do? I don't want to spoil it. Is this when they're still in their like pre glow up? They're still feuding.
Okay, I guess we can do that. So yeah, basically, so we're asking outshine the other one, and maybe even how can I'm a little bit fuzzy on who's who. Revenge kind of thing. What's the best revenge?
Well, it depends on which point, because Madeline ends up with Ernest, which is hello, Oscar. So quite early on in the film, you discover that sort of Ernest ends up kind of leaving Helen for Madeline. So hang on. So maybe it's when Helen has already had her glow up, but Madeline hasn't, and she's trying to work out what's happening. She's like, oh my god, this is unacceptable. How do I? Because obviously she eventually finds out about the glow up stuff, but she's in the midst of rage and revenge. So so she's like, how can I possibly outshine Helen in that red dress? Oh my god, that amazing red dress, which is just wow, very Jessica Rabbit. How do I get one up on Helen? Okay. Oh, I've got the Emperor.
Oh,
Girl.
and in nice clothes. Oh, I feel like I have a boring card. Sorry to everybody.
What?
Knight of Pumpkins, which is Knight of Pentacles.
No, that makes sense, right? So because these go together quite nicely if you think about it, because you know the Emperor is force,
Structure.
it's stability, it's structure, it can be rigid, it can be stuffy, right? But it's also power. It can also be, it's also, when you think about emperors, it's like domination. So it's like, bitch, get your like best clothes on, get on your fucking horse, take your time, stroll in there slowly, doing the work, walking it, and like own that space and show Helen who's boss.
Who's boss? Yeah. All right.
She just needs to own herself.
The most important thing is, exactly. It's doing it with conviction, knowing exactly where you're going. And the most important thing is to just start. Don't hesitate. Just go.
Mm-hmm.
The beginning, or the starting process is the most important thing. I'm so fuzzy on this story now, but yeah, that makes sense the way you said it. And that card is beautiful. That card.
Yeah, the deck is pretty awesome. Also, I like the idea of the Knight of Pumpkins, the Knight of Pentacles. You know, in the film, she does start like she goes in there. She's like demands. She does her thing, and it does start a very slow progress, a very long journey that potentially doesn't end. So, the Knight of Pumpkins of Pentacles feels quite appropriate.
You are so right. Yeah. It's also the just keep going from now on.
Just keep plodding on no matter what. It's gonna get real boring. It's gonna get real stale.
But you got what you wanted.
Yeah, you could, if you kept it in control, if you like, you know, did what they told you to do, you could have had it all. You could have been the emperor, but no.
Exactly.
So
wow. Okay. Well, we've been on for almost 1.5 hours, and
that was so quick.
It did, because this is such a fun game, and just to hear also your interpretations is cool. And I love that, I don't know, it feels just so like Kelly Bear on brand to use the D&D stuff, and you know, I really love that touch.
Yeah, I really recommend, like, I love reading, because I've commented under your video, show me how you practice, that I hadn't thought of using the journal prompts in Changeling for tarot readings, and I just thought that was such a great idea. And I was like, because I do it for fictional characters, and before I got this book, the only way that I would do practice readings was with fictional characters, whether it was from a play, a film, a song, a book, a TV show. It was the only way that I practiced, and it's still like my favorite way to practice. And sometimes I can get like questions from this, but yeah. So I recommend it to people.
Yes, definitely. And that book, I've never seen that book actually. So that's
for people.
Really, really good. I believe that it's good. Maybe actually, if you want to, just read out a couple questions.
Yeah, it's really random. So I usually go boop, 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 and then I like
pure bibliomancy style.
It is. It's proper like to spread tarot reading bibliomancy. Another thing you can then do is take a spread book and then go boop, 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 and see if you can find a spread that'll answer it, which is quite a fun thing to do. Yeah. So if you really want to have a fun practice. Okay, so Holly asks, how will my daughter's wedding ceremony go tomorrow? It's like loads of real mixed bag. And the names just always crack me up, because obviously she's had to come up with so many names, and there's some like really real humdingers in here. Virgil asks, how can I resolve the conflict with my best friend? I just hear Virgil and I think Southern. This Virgil wants to know how he can resolve the conflict with his best friend. We've got Lucas wants to know, how can I move my relationship to the next level? And there's like more introspective ones. So Valeria asks, what am I denying? Very broad. So yeah, there's loads. There's stuff about spirituality, about money, about work, relationships, all sorts.
Okay, so it's like categories.
It's not even categories. That's the great thing. It's just all random. It's great. You're just like, you don't know what, a bit like how it would be if people were coming to you. You'd be like, I don't know what I'm getting, you know? It's great.
Yeah, true. Yeah, so actually kind of like a tool for if you want to do readings for other people. What?
It says, Kelly asks, this is definitely not a question I would ask. Will my team win the disc golf tournament? Disc golf is a really weird sport. I would never play disc golf. But yeah, that's a different Kelly. It's a Kelly with an EY at the end, not just a Y. So yeah, it's a great book.
Crafting Tarot Girl says she loves your accent.
Oh, thank you. that's the tabletop RPG player in me. I've got so many different characters with different accents. So
nice.
Fun to play.
So I guess we can both recommend to people, if you want to read for other people or even just change up or basically have a different view on the tarot cards, because that actually works, is to pretend to read for somebody else. And it can be just a vague person that you've never heard of, never met, even on the Astral kind of thing, but it's actually really cool to do it with the fictional characters, right? So can be, we just used series and shows and I guess books, but can be pretty much anything, like game characters.
Yeah, I will say doing it for current TV shows, streaming shows that you're currently watching is a really fun practice, specifically because you don't know what's going to happen next. So you can kind of like be reading for the current situation and then seeing how, like if you want to do like predictive reading, what have you, seeing how that goes, or if they're asking for advice. Like I did a whole bunch of readings for like the Schitt's Creek characters, all the Rose family, and like the series hadn't finished yet, so it was quite nice to see where that progression went from what I had read for them. So yeah, that's always a fun one to do.
Yeah, exactly. So for everybody who's still in chat or rewatching this after the live, if you haven't seen Death Becomes Her, or what was the other show that people hadn't seen?
Buffy. A lot of people hadn't seen Buffy.
Buffy, hello, and talk about character development. Just maybe, if you have social media, put it on your YouTube or put it on your Instagram. Tag us, because I'm pretty sure we both want to see it.
Yeah, I want to see if other people read for fictional characters. That'd be cool.
Yeah, totally. And maybe, we mentioned Beetlejuice. There's a new Beetlejuice. There's a whole bunch
Don't say it again. That's twice.
And the life goes down. How do you do? I don't know it.
Oh, Strictly Come Dancing. I never watch it, but I guess you could predict who's going to win, maybe? I don't know.
What style they're going to do or what? I don't know.
Don't they say what style they're going to do at the beginning of the show? I mean, I've seen the odd bit of episodes here and there, but I don't really know enough about it. But you could predict who's going to win the tournament. You could predict who wins each show, and then when it gets to the final, who's going to win. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm about to go to my partner's place, and we're actually going to watch, if it's still on, because you never know how long the fights last. We have a little guilty pleasure of watching Glory kickboxing events. And
cool.
No violence, but still, this is kind of like still very entertaining to watch. And I sometimes, I don't really do predictive readings. I don't like doing them very much, but grain of salt kind of thing, and also just fun. So I sometimes pull out the cards to see who would win, and I pull a card for both contestants, and it's like, the reasoning why that card would then for some reason be better than another. That's also kind of interesting practice.
Oh, I like it. Oh,
Yay.
cool. I've got a movie night with my partner. Saturday night is movie night for us. So we're going to make some dinner and then watch a film, I imagine.
Nice. Well, I hope I didn't keep you too long.
No, I had up until like 7, so I'm fine. It's all in time. So, but thank you so much for asking me. And we finally did a live together. It's so exciting.
I know, it's been years. Yes, so cool. So thank you so much for accepting to do this. And yeah, I
Pleasure.
really love this game. It was fun. And anybody can do it. So have a good weekend. Exactly. Have a good Saturday night. Give a little cuddle to Nomi. And
yeah. I will do.
Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. And I think everybody knows your channel, but just in case, if you don't, go ahead to Kelly Bear's channel and check out all the cool stuff that she has there. And I linked your channel below. So
thank you. That's very kind. Yeah. Thank you. And I hope everyone has a good weekend too.
Have a good weekend. Exactly. Thank you, everybody. Feel free to comment underneath, even after the live. So thank you, Kelly Bear.
Thank you, Anna. Ciao.
Hi. Oh my God, how do we go not live? Bye. I'm just gonna leave the studio. Bye.
End stream top right.
Oh yeah, I moved the thingy. I'm going to end stream now. Bye. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.